Welcome to a slightly different video this time. Today I'm going to be ranking every single historical Total War title from the worst to the best, taking a lot of stuff into consideration as well. Now first of all, I just want to very quickly say, I know Legend of Total War has also started doing top 5s or top 10s. I've been wanting to do this for a while as well. It's just an unfortunate coincidence that we both started around the same time. He got like 3 weeks ahead of me, but before then people had already asked me to do it in Discord. I'd already had a plan, I'd already had episodes planned. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't like step on his toes, you know. Well, I'm giving a different opinion anyway, so it's not gonna be too much of a problem, but... And I'm gonna add some different, more unique stuff that he won't have to, you know, keep it different. So, out of the 10 historical titles, 10th place, the worst historical Total War title is, well, you know, you expected it, Thrones of Britannia, and I liked it at first, but, you know, after like a few hours of playing it, I did definitely get bored. It just felt far too repetitive, there wasn't much there to really do, but I liked the idea that we're going for with, you know, Britain, I mean like Britain, the historical time period, but I just didn't find the game fun eventually, and yeah, that's why it's in 10th place. Now this is where I do it a little bit different. I'm gonna add your opinion on here. So I had a survey going on my YouTube channel and my Discord over the last week. We got 133 responses, and here is what you voted to be the worst Total War historical title. Ooh, do you like that little arrow sound I added there? Yeah, this channel's getting really fancy now with sound effects. Ooh! But as you expected, Thrones of Britannia, it's just not my opinion. It seems to be everyone's opinion. It got a very low rating in my survey, and yeah, of course, 10th place. On top of this, the hours that I've put into this game are around about 15 hours at most. That's it's of course an estimate because it's online Steam version, and it doesn't, of course, it doesn't count the offline play, so it's a bit difficult. About 15 hours. And this is where we start getting a little bit controversial already. 9th place. Now, just hear me out before you leave the video after I say this, but Rome 2 Total War. Let me tell you my story with Rome 2 Total War and why I don't like it. Well, first of all, I got the game, it was like 3 years later. I knew it was buggy on launch, which is a big, you know, a big reason why it's so low down. But, you know, after 3 years, I got it on sale. I thought they'd have fixed the bugs, which they, you know, they kind of had fixed most of the bugs, but I immediately jump in, play as Rome on very hard difficulty. I can't remember how many turns, but it was like 5 turns in, I took Carthage. I could auto-resolve it. That was how, you know, clear that victory was. Took Carthage in about 5 turns, and then I got into a big battle. This was the first time I'd actually been in a battle where, okay, there was slightly some challenge. I had like, I don't know, 18 stacks of soldiers, and they were coming at me with about 40 stacks of soldiers. By some miracle, I managed to hold on to the very end. I had like only 100 to 200 troops left on the map. But the battle bugged. Why? Because it was a sea battle. And you know when... I mean, not a sea battle, like a land and sea battle. I had my troops on the land, and you know when the boats come in and they land and the troops get off the boats, and in Attila Total War the boats go away so more boats can come in. That doesn't happen in Rome 2, the boats stay, and the problem was their enemy brought so many soldiers that they couldn't fit more boats onto the map, so that was it, I couldn't do anything. I just auto-lost because they couldn't fit enough of the boats onto the map, and they had just like 2 boats in the distance. You know, the morale was weak. That game like 20 minutes and they were still holding strong. Just on the other side of the map, they couldn't land on the land, and it was just, I had to exit the battle, and then I actually asked for a refund from Steam for that game, because, you know, that really got to me. It's very rare that I get that annoyed with a computer game, especially a Total War, but that annoyed me. Thrones of Britannia never really annoyed me, it was just boring, but Rome 2, ooh, it got to me. So yeah, sadly, however, I couldn't actually refund it. I'd played for about 2 hours, which is the maximum amount of playtime it allows for a refund, so I should have gotten a refund. However, I had a crash very early on in my campaign, and it took me about 20 minutes to actually get out of there. I just ended up turning the PC off in the end, and that pushed me over into 3 hours, which meant I couldn't refund. So I couldn't refund that game because of the crash, and it made it unrefundable. I was annoyed with round 2. But yeah, that's why it's in 9th place for me, and you know, I know it's got a lot of fans, as you can see by this. Ooh, another sound effect. I love my sound effects now. 4th place. You actually put it on 4th place, which, you know, I understand why people like it, but, you know, after my first experience being like that, I'm never going back to it again. Probably never. Maybe once I start live streaming I might give it a go as a joke, but my current plan is I'm not going to do it. Time spent in this game? 3 hours. Well, 2 hours 20 minutes. Well, probably not even that. Now, moving into 8th place, I have put Empire Total War here. Now, why did it? Of course, was an incredibly buggy game, and I still have difficulties with it. I haven't played it too much, so my vote on this is still a little bit unsure. But the reason why it's above Rome 2 is the entire reason is it's just I liked the idea. I liked how you have Europe, America, and India separate, and you can go there by going into these boat zones, sort of thing. I liked that idea, but sadly, of course, the bugs, and it's still buggy now. Just because of that, it's down in 8th place, but I think the game has a lot of potential, and I would completely support an Empire 2 if they were going to go that route, as long as it's, you know, not a buggy mess. Now, let's see where you ranked it. So my viewers and Discord members ranked it at 7. You know, I think that's an understandable place. I can definitely expect that. Sadly, it got a very low rank, did Empire, on my survey, but that being said, there is still going to be an Empire Total War time-lapse coming tomorrow. So, you know, Empire Total War time-lapse tomorrow. I'm excited to finally get it out, and yeah, hope some of you can be entertained by it. Next on my list, in 7th place, and I'm going to talk about 6th place as well in this, Shogun 1 and Medieval 1. Now, I have a lot of respect for these games, of course, because, you know, they were the original foundation. However, you know, I haven't actually played Shogun 1, I just decided to put it, you know, one step behind Medieval 1, just assuming. And that's what other people have done as well. I'll show you the stats soon, but yeah. Medieval 1 I have played. I don't have any gameplay of it, that's why you're seeing the trailers for these instead, because I just can't get gameplay, of course. It's not gonna work on my laptop. Too old. But yeah, I had to put them above the bad games because I didn't think it was fair to call them a bad game, because they were the original, but still, you know, they're not up there. I was about to give away 1st place then, ooh. And as you can see, I think actually most people did kind of vote the same way. They were 9th and 8th in your votes. However, you know, you still put them above Thrones of Britannia, which I found interesting. Alright, now we're getting into the top 5. In 5th place, I have decided to put Napoleon Total War. Now, I actually really liked Napoleon, but yeah, of course, it's a difficult one. I played a lot of Napoleon Total War, and the amount of hours that I have into that game, take a wild guess. 400 hours. I have 400 hours into Napoleon Total War. I really enjoyed that one at the time. Now I can't play it because, you know, I feel I've done everything, so I'm not going to play Napoleon Total War, an actual campaign, probably ever again. I probably will play it again now that I think about it, but you know what I mean. Not going to play it for a very long time. I just can't imagine going back. But at the time, when I was, you know, new to Napoleon, I really liked that game. Mostly because of the time period. I'm a big fan of Napoleon. I'm doing my History University dissertation on Napoleon. So yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. Let's see where you placed it, and you know, for once, we agree. 5th place. Now, we actually agreed with Thrones of Britannia as well, but the votes came in and said that Napoleon was the 5th best Total War game. In 4th place, I'm going with Shogun 2 Total War, and in my original vote a couple of years back, I didn't upload it, but I thought about it, you know, and I thought Shogun 2 was going to be much worse, but now I've had some time to, you know, do YouTube, play these games a bit more, and yeah, I think it's a little bit higher. And after seeing Thrones of Britannia and how buggy some other games are, you know, you've got to kind of like Shogun 2 after going through that. But of course, I've got no interest in the time period really, so yeah, it's a good game, but I'm not interested in the time period. And yeah, it's a difficult one to rank because of that, but I decided I think 4th place is a safe spot. And this is all I also expected. 3rd place, that's where you put it. I didn't expect it any differently. How much time do I have in Shogun 2? I have about 100 hours. So it's above Napoleon Total War, but I have less hours into it. Mostly because, you know, Napoleon Total War I feel I'm done with, but Shogun 2, I do think I can come back to it, and I think Shogun 2 is one I'll always play, but it will never. I don't think I'll ever put more hours into it. It's really weird to vote these, but yeah. 3rd place. Here we are, Attila Total War. Now I know Attila doesn't get I know Attila doesn't have that many fans, and I can tell this because the vote for Attila Total War was actually the exact same for Empire. It got above Empire Total War. I guess it just put it in alphabetical order or something, or maybe there was a slight edge to Attila over Empire. I don't know. But yeah, it's got the exact same vote from what I can see as Empire Total War. The exact same ranking, which was really weird. How it just ended up exactly the same. But whatever. What I like about Attila Total War is that it makes the player sweat. You know, you're constantly being attacked, you know, it makes you sweat. You've always got stuff on your mind, you've always got that threat that it could be over. It's I'm going to call Attila Total War the only Total War where you can actually truly lose and be a decent player. Attila is the only one where that happens. The limited building slots, it's annoying, but the fact that you've got so much to deal with and some settlements just, they're possible to manage, but it gets really difficult. I like that really tight challenge. It makes you claustrophobic in your own game, it makes you sweat, it makes you struggle, it makes you have nightmares at night. I love Attila Total War for that. I understand why it got a low ranking by other players. Yeah, I can definitely see why it's not for everybody, but I kind of liked that in the Total War game. I actually hated Attila when it first came out, when I first played it. I didn't think it was a good game, but you know, it was that sweat that kept bringing me back, and now I really do like Attila Total War. Time put into Attila Total War, 600 hours. That's right, 600 hours. You're probably thinking I'm a freak right now, but 600 hours in Attila Total War. I just enjoyed that game. And now here we are, at the top 2 Total Wars. You know what these are. I know what these are. Everyone knows what these are. Okay, I'm going to start off by saying my 1st place. And I actually disagree with the votes here. I do disagree. I think Rome 1 Total War, the first ever Rome game, was the best. Medieval 2 Total War in 2nd. Now I'm just going to throw both votes on here. I'm going to talk about them at the same time because of how similar they are, but how brilliant they are as well. You actually voted Medieval 2 Total War in 1st place and Rome 1 in 2nd. Now, you know, that's what I expected. I know my views are slightly different. For the most part they do mirror kind of in a way. But yeah, I liked Rome 1 Total War. Medieval 2 Total War, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad game, it's got 2nd place, but there's just something about Rome Total War, the first, I don't know, it was of course my first Total War as well, maybe I'm a bit biased because of that, but yeah, Rome Total War always had a special place in my heart, and so will Medieval 2, but Rome will always be better, and so will Attila in a very weird way. Time spent into these games, it's just immeasurable. I don't know. The problem is that I played these games before I had Steam, so it never calculated it. All I'm going to say is 1,000 hours plus into each game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's hitting 2,000 hours plus into each game. I loved Rome 1 and Medieval 2. Something weird about these two games is that although you've voted that Medieval 2 is the best, with my videos, actually Rome 1 gets more views. It's like, if I put Rome 1 in the title, it will get more views than if I put Medieval 2 in the title. I don't know if that's like saying something. Maybe people prefer to watch Rome Total War over Med 2. Who knows? But yeah, just an extra interesting fact that I wanted to throw out there. And it's not just me. Legend of Total War, he streamed Medieval 2 Total War for about 600 viewers on YouTube, and then as soon as I switched and did Rome Total War, went up to 1,000. People prefer to watch Rome Total War, and yet they prefer to play Medieval 2. Speaking of Legend of Total War, he has done a top 5 series on this. I do advise that you check him out as well. Yeah, I'm of course trying not to step on his feet too much in a way, but still, you know, there's going to be some overlap. And I'm trying unique ways, such as showing your opinions, as you can see still on the screen, and also just like putting some extra details, such as the hours that I put into these games, just to try and stay unique. Either way, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe if you do want to see more. I do other stuff as well, mostly AI onlys, but I do more unique Let's Plays, I'll phrase it like that. Some challenge campaigns at times. But here is my question, back onto you. Out in Rome Total War, what are your top 5 factions? Not in any particular order, what is your top 5 factions? There'll be a link down below to a 1-question survey like I did with this one. It's going to have all the playable factions in Rome Total War. You just click on 5 ones that you enjoy playing the most. You don't have to rank them, you just choose 5 that you like the most to play as. And yeah, submit it, and of course the results will hopefully be used in the next top 5 video. And after I uploaded that last time-lapse video, I just also want to say thank you for all the support that I got. It was, you know, the subscriber count, the comments, the likes, everything. It was great to see. The main problem is, of course, that I don't ask for likes. Of course I've started asking for subscribers now, but you know, for my entire time I haven't, and yeah, but that's not because I don't want it, that's just because it feels weird for me to ask. So, you know, just I don't know how to phrase it still, but just thank you for the support and understanding, and yeah, hopefully I can keep this up, and hopefully you can continue being entertained by my videos. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye.